Fellow Ghanaians, everywhere you turn in this country today, you hear the same refrain whispered on the trotro, shouted at the street corners, typed angrily on X or Facebook, and sighed over poor meals. Young people are tired. They are tired of waiting, tired of promises, tired of being told to be patient, tired of governments that roll out glossy programs and catchy acronyms only for those programs to collapse into nothing but press conferences and banners and wasted money. The youth are disillusioned, restless, disoriented, and they have every reason to be. For decades, successive governments have claimed that job creation is their #1 priority. We have seen ambitious plans announced with fanfare, youth employment schemes, graduate programs, models for skills training, countless slogans about entrepreneurship. Each government comes with its own catchy name, but the songs remains the same. Paper promises that never translate into real livelihoods. When the jobs do not materialize, they are temporary, precarious, and degrading in pay. A graduate who struggled through 4 years of university is given a placement that pays 700 cedis or 1,000 cedis, sometimes 1,200 if you're lucky. But what can that buy in today's Ghana? Rent alone galves it before you can breathe. Food prices finish the rest. Transport swallows whatever crumbs may be left. By the middle of the month, young people are broke, humiliated, and resentful. This is not living, this is surviving. And survival is not the same as life. Fellow Ghanaians, listen to the pulse of our nation's young people. They are not dreaming of building homes anymore. They are not talking about savings, investments, or legacies. They are not even talking about marriage in the way our parents did. Just this week, a conversation exploded on X when a young man earning 2,500 cedis admitted that he wanted to get married. Instead of encouragement, the chorus from some came at him was very brutal. Some said that was not enough to take a wife. You cannot earn 2,500 cedis and think of marrying. Think about that for a moment. 2,500 cedis, which by Ghanaian standards is even considered decent, is now being dismissed as inadequate for marriage, for starting a family, for basic dignity. If 2,500 cedis is not enough, what then of the majority of young Ghanaians who scrape by on 800 or 1,000 cedis? What future are they supposed to imagine for themselves? This is the psychological carnage youth employment is causing. It is not just about economics. It is about self-worth. It's about dignity. It's about whether young people see themselves as citizens with a future in this country or as prisoners of a system that will never let them breathe. Today may no longer see Ghana as a place to live. Many of them, they see it as departure lounges. They are queuing at embassies, selling properties, borrowing money, doing anything possible to get out. And when they leave, they do not look back because they know they are not missing much or anything at all. The brain drain is bleeding us. But who can blame them? Why has this persisted for so long? Why is it that in every administration, they make the same promises, set up the same programs, and all of them still fail? The truth is that many of these programs are never designed to be sustainable. They are political theater. They are set up in election years to buy votes, not to solve problems. They are bloated with political appointees who drain the resources before they reach ordinary youth. The so-called skills training often ends without certification, without job placement, without follow-ups. The stipends are delayed for months, and when they come, they are so small they can barely cover transportation. This is not job creation. This is political patronage wearing the clothes of policy. And when governments boast of the few jobs they have created, they rarely tell the youth they count temporary internships as jobs. They count short-term contracts as jobs. They inflate the numbers by counting one-off and trainings as employment. Meanwhile, the structural issues are never addressed. Our economy is still import-driven, not production-driven. Our agriculture is still rain-fed, not mechanized. Our industries are still weak, choked by high taxes, unreliable power, and poor infrastructure. We talk about digital innovation, but we have no enabling ecosystem to allow startups to thrive beyond buzzwords. We talk about TVET and skills training, but our polytechnics, now converted to universities, are underfunded, and graduates cannot access credit to start businesses. We create jobs in speeches, but not in reality. Fellow Ghanaians, the consequence of this is tragic. A whole generation is being robbed of hope. Young people graduate into nothingness. Those who manage to secure jobs are underpaid and overworked. Many postpone marriage not because they do not desire companionship, but because they simply cannot afford it. They postpone having children, not because they do not want to, but because they cannot raise them. They postpone dreams of homes, cars, and travels because their basic, even rent, is becoming a nightmare. What we are breathing is not just unemployment. We are breathing disillusionment, depression, and distrust in the state itself. Think about the irony. Ghana is nearly 70 years old. Yet the average young Ghanaian believes the only way to succeed is to leave. They look at their leaders and see men who are comfortable and women who are insulated and unconcerned. They see politicians who give them slogans in the day and send their own children abroad at night. They see that no matter how hard they study, no matter how well they graduate, no matter how loyal they are, the system will never reward them. And so they give up. They give up on the system altogether. That is the greatest tragedy of this all. When citizens lose faith in the state, when they no longer believe the republic can provide, fellow Ghanaians, we must speak plainly about this. We must keep telling the youth to be entrepreneurial. We cannot keep telling them that the way to break the poverty cycle is to create jobs, or we cannot give them access to capital. We cannot tell them to create their own opportunities when banks charge interest rates of 35%. We cannot say learn a trade when some traders are suffocating because raw materials are imported at cutthroat prices. We cannot keep telling young people to tighten their belts and politicians are losing theirs with fat contracts, inflated projects, and reckless borrowing. The hypocrisy is becoming unbearable. The youth are not asking for handouts. They are asking for opportunity. They are asking for systems that work. They are asking for a country where their hard work translates into decent pay, where dignity comes with labor, where ambition is not punished with mockery. Fellow Ghanaians, imagine a Ghana where leaders invested truly in industries, not just ribbon cutting factories that collapse months later. Imagine a Ghana where agriculture is modernized, so young people see farming as profitable, not as punishment. Imagine a Ghana where skills training is tied to actual industries that absorb graduates into decent jobs. Imagine a Ghana where young people do not need to bribe or to know someone to be recruited into the police, the army, or the civil service. Imagine a Ghana where 2,500 cedis is not seen as a poor man's wage, but as a stepping stone to a comfortable life. That Ghana is possible, but only if we get serious. It begins with honesty. Government must stop inflating numbers, stop politicizing job creation, stop treating youth employment as a campaign slogan. We must reform our education to meet market needs. We must incentivize industries to expand and employ, not suffocate them with taxes. We must clean the corruption in state job recruitment. And we must build trust by ensuring that the programs we announce actually deliver, not vanish after elections. Fellow Ghanaians, the youth are the future. They are the present. And if we do not address their pain, if we do not restore their hope, we will lose them. And when a nation loses its youth, it loses its very soul. Good morning and have a great day.